A man is walking his cute little dog at the park. He usually does it at a time where there's not many people, if any, at the park. And this dog of his has never bit a human in his life. He's so friendly, everybody loves him. Because of this, the owner decides that he can just let him loose without a muzzle or without a leash. But it is against the law to do this in this park. And so one morning he gets approached by a policeman who is in the area. A policeman that supports and that abides by the law and that's there to protect it. Seeing this scene, he's a bit offended by it. He wants to show his authority. He says to the man, "What do you intend by letting this dog on the loose without a leash or anything of the sort? Don't you know that it's against the law?" And the owner of the dog responds to him, "Yes, I know it is, but I didn't think it would do any harm." And the policeman responds, "You didn't think? You didn't think? The law doesn't care about what you or other people think about your opinions. The law is there to protect everybody. It could have bit a children or it could have killed a squirrel. But you think? I'm going to let you off the hook this time, but if I catch you again, you're going to have to think this to the judge. Did I make myself understood?" The owner of the dog gave him a meekly promise that he was going to obey. And he did for a little while, a few days. And then he started taking his chances again. Him, nor the dog, they didn't like being on the leash in this vast park where there wasn't many people in the first place. So he started letting him loose again, running up the hills, running alongside him. And then one day he sees up the hill that there is the policeman, the same one, once again, and the dog starts running towards him. The owner of the dog was in for it. He knew what was coming, and because of that he rushed to condemn himself and to apologize. Before even getting to him, as he's running with the dog, "Officer, you've caught me. I'm red-handed. I have no alibis nor excuses. I am guilty. You gave me a fair warning last week and here I am once again without a leash." And then the policeman starts to talk. I can understand that it's a temptation to let the little dog run on free will in this big park, especially in times like this where there's not a lot of people. But the owner of the dog interrupts, again condemning himself. Sure, it's a temptation, but it's against the law. Now taken a bit aback, the policeman says, "Well, it's not like that dog is going to harm anybody with his little size." And the owner of the dog keeps on condemning himself. He says, "Yes, but he could have killed a squirrel." The policeman couldn't reprimand him. He was doing it himself the whole time. And because of this, the only way to establish his authority was giving a different type of order. Being human, he didn't want to just be an asshole. He just wanted a feeling of importance. So he told the owner of the dog, "Well now, I think you're taking this matter a bit too seriously. Look, this is what we can do. Just take the dog out there over that hill where I can't see him and have all the fun and run as wild as you want alongside him, and we'll all forget about this." What happened here is that because the owner of the dog was shedding light to all of his mistakes, the only way for the policeman to feed this self-esteem and this authority of his was to, in contrast to him, take the magnanimous attitude of showing mercy. This is a very powerful technique for many reasons. One, because it leaves them without really having anything else to say. But at the same time, think about it. When you've done something wrong, isn't it a lot easier for you to hear it from your own ears, your own self-criticism, than hearing it from another person or anything negative in general? Let's take me, right, when I had a lot of spots on my face. If I was to tell myself, "I'm just so spotty, I hate it," and somebody would then take the approach of being more supportive and saying, "Hey man, but it's alright, they come and go and it's not that bad," that would have been a lot better than if I heard it from them like, "You're spotty." Alright, that was an example I came up with on the spot, but let's take a real life example. So I was working. I made a blunder and we lost a bit of money, you know, something to do with, there was an error with the card machine, I was in some retail and I let go of the customer and I essentially gave them free shopping. I actually had a bad streak of events and I made like 3 errors in that one day. I'm not sure what happened, I had never been like this. And one of the managers approached me. He had an angry look to his face, like he was going to tell me off. Whenever you hear a snapping of the fingers, make sure that you fix your posture and you take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose. Enjoy the video. I admitted to every mistake that I did. It was essentially my error. I had let them go too early. I made a lot of errors just for comfort. This is usually why errors happen. Comfort. And as I finished telling them exactly what I did wrong, they started opening. "Well, yeah, this is a big mistake. I mean, I guess you are new." And they were going to continue on criticizing me, but because I knew this principle, I stopped them and I said, "Well, new or not, it doesn't make a difference. I cost money to the business and I feel terrible about it. Maybe I can work extra hours or I can compensate with my own money. I'm really sorry. I'll let you do it right now. Let me get my wallet." And then the manager tells me, "No, we can't do that. Look, a mistake's a mistake, but look, this is not good. I mean, what you should have done. And I interrupted them again. I was like, well, fine, but at least take me off of this place because I feel like I'm just doing such a terrible job here. I was being super dramatic. But look, I was working in this place literally as I'm a bit of a psycho, just to practice a bunch of stuff that I had learned because I wanted to put them into practice. Now, I didn't make the error on purpose. It was an accident, a true accident, but on the moment I thought about doing this and then I did it. As I was doing this act of saying, well, somebody else should be here in my place, I should go somewhere else, I don't feel like I'm good enough. Then the manager just buckled in and then they were like, no, Luke, stay here. You're doing a great job. You're new, this is a Saturday night and you're doing overtime anyway. You're doing an amazing job, and to be honest, for how busy it's been, there's been no complaints about queues or anything. Look, it's alright, don't worry about this, but just try to avoid it next time. If you have any doubts or any problems, you can ask any of us. Thank you for your work. And then they left. And me being the only one that knew exactly what had happened in my mind, I was like, holy shit, this actually worked. But it was true that I felt really bad. Don't do anything like this to, get away with things or whatever. That will become manipulation. Everything that I do, ever since I've become more honest to my heart, has been of goodwill only. I'm only giving you the tools here, but I'm really hopeful that you will use them for good. You may remember from 8 Mile the Eminem scene where he's rapping against his final counterpart, and he starts saying everything bad about himself before he even gets a chance to speak or to reply. What happens? The other person then has no mean things to say about them, so they just don't know what to do. They remain there speechless. You essentially disarm them by being the first one to criticize yourself. If you understand some principles like that people want to just feel important, they don't necessarily want to be mean, they want to rectify your errors. If you're so eager to be yielding, things will end a lot quicker. But fighting will never stop. Try to be 1% better every day, and much love.